Diddy's kids went through a traumatic event when Kim Porter tragically passed away. But the way Diddy handled his children's loss was pretty amazing. He has said that losing Kim taught him to be a better father, and you won't believe what the kid's life has been like in recent years. In 2019, Diddy appeared on the cover of Essence magazine's May issue with all of his daughters. He opened up about how he has changed since losing his soulmate nearly 6 months earlier. Diddy said that it forced him to go from being what he called a part-time father to being much more present in their lives. Diddy and Kim were the parents of twins, Jesse and Delilah, both 12 years old. But after losing Kim, Diddy started becoming more attentive to all of his children. He told the magazine that although his family had always come first, there had been countless times when he chose work over everything else. He went on to say that these days he was just a lot more present and that his kids came before anything else in his life. He explained the reason he was able to do this, and what he shared was both incredible and also heartbreaking. He credited the way Kim had parented the kids herself for teaching him what to do now that she was gone. According to Diddy, watching her as a mother played a big role in how he, as he put it, jumped into mommy mode, which he claimed that he did as soon as he found out about her passing. Diddy went on to say that on some level, he knew that she was training him for this role, and that he also knew that he had to be ready to do whatever he was supposed to do if something like this ever happened. In fact, Diddy revealed the especially devastating moment when Kim pretty much told him what had to happen. He reflected on the time a few days before she passed when she told him to take care of her babies. Diddy then described the horror everybody felt when they heard the news that Kim had passed away. He said that there was screaming and crying when he heard about it, and he wasn't sure how to handle his kids' reactions at first. Obviously, it must have been an incredibly difficult time for him as well, but he had a responsibility to see to the well-being of his family. And the way he figured out how to handle it was amazing. He told Essence that he just had to ask himself, what would Kim do? Part of this was making sure that none of his kids found out about the news in the wrong way, and he went to extreme lengths to make sure this didn't happen. Diddy said that he sent people in every direction to make sure that the kids wouldn't learn about it from social media or the news. He had to get to his daughter's school before the news broke publicly, and he also had to find his stepson Quincy, who was working on set in Atlanta when his mom passed. As well as their twin daughters, Diddy and Kim also had a 21-year-old son, Christian. At the time the news about Kim dropped, he was actually on a plane. Obviously, Diddy didn't want his son to find out during the flight, so he did what he had to do to make sure he didn't. Diddy told Essence that he called the phone company and shut Christian's phone off so that he wouldn't read about it in the air. And considering how broken Diddy himself must have been feeling at the time, it was pretty amazing that he managed to think of this plan. Later in the interview, Diddy shared some details about how the tragedy first became known. He said that 3 days before Kim passed, she wasn't feeling well. She had the flu, and she sent the kids over to Diddy's house so that she wouldn't get them sick. When he came over to check on her one night, she gave him her final wish to look after the kid. Apparently, those words echoed in Diddy's mind when he heard she was gone. When he heard about it, he said that he was crying out to God, but almost immediately her last words to him kicked in and helped to calm him. He went on to talk about how important the kids were to his relationship with Kim. He said that every time they talked, it was about their children, and although they would check in on each other as friends, they never had a conversation that didn't involve Jesse, Delilah, or Christian. Diddy described Kim's devotion as being like a superhero. This realization helped him become ready to do whatever he was supposed to do for the kids. 6 months after losing her, Diddy said that the family was doing well. They were handling their grief together, and Diddy put a lot of that down to their extended family. He thanked the moms of his other children, Chance and Justin, as well as grandparents and Kim's friends. In fact, there was even some good that came out of the tragedy, because Diddy said that Kim's passing changed him and his family, and made them all love each other even more, which he put down to the way Kim loved them all when she was alive. Diddy was obviously happy and relieved to say that, since to start with, he didn't really know how the family would cope. In the days immediately after the news, Diddy showed that he was not coping so well. In a tribute to Kim in 2018, he wrote about just how emotional it had really been for him. He said that he had been trying to wake up from this nightmare for days, but he hadn't. He said that he didn't know what he would do without Kim, and that he missed her so much. Diddy then said that Kim was more than his soulmate, even though they had not been together since back in 2007. Attached to the post was a video showing Diddy and Kim together when she was pregnant. And while it was clear that Diddy's heart was broken at this time, it was a relief to hear that both he and his family were getting the support they needed. A couple of years later, Diddy and Kim's kids seemed to be thriving, and the twins had even started to follow in their model mom's footsteps. In August 2021, Delilah and Jesse made their runway debut at the Dolce & Gabbana fashion show in Venice. Nearly 3 years after losing their mother, the young women paid tribute to Kim by deciding to follow her profession. The 14-year-olds arrived at the show on gondola, along with their half-sister, Chance, whose mother is Sarah Chapman, and they definitely seemed to enjoy following in Kim's footsteps. They celebrated their fashion walk on their joint Instagram account. They posted posted a caption in which they said it was literally a dream come true. They went on to say that they were so excited to walk in the fashion show and they thanked Dolce & Gabbana for having them there. They also thanked their dad and his team for helping them get through it and said that they hope to be back soon. Diddy himself reacted to the post and showed us just how happy he was for his girls. He said that words couldn't explain before simply writing love on their photos. A year earlier, Diddy marked the 2nd anniversary of Kim's passing with a touching post. He reminded his followers that if they had good women, then please let them know. He told his followers to tell their women as soon as they could and make sure they knew. He said they should be honored and cherished because they were rare and few. He also said that not everyone gets a second chance. He finished his post by tagging Lady KP and stating that he would honor her forever. And it looks like with the way he has raised their kids without her, Diddy has done just that. But what do you guys think? Did Diddy's loss motivate him to be a better dad? What do you think about how he handled breaking the news to his kid? Let me know in the comments below.